Yeah.
This was a great idea I had, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was brilliant. Yeah.
It was going to be inevitable though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Find a way to force our way through this somehow. It's got to be
Yeah.
Shiver's present.
Yeah. Well, you see, right. We're doing Constantine now, and the thing is, I'm a bit of a Hellblazer fan.
I am somewhat, yeah. I like.
I'm a bit of a Hellblazer
Bit of
fan.
one, and not as much as you, but you know.
I like. I've pretty much got all 12 of the new volumes that have come out,
Yeah.
including a couple of others which I probably shouldn't have bought because they're going to end up in the new volumes at some point. But yeah. I don't really know how to start off this. It's
wrong.
It is wrong. You see,
a lot of it is wrong.
You see, right. This is the thing. I'm not one of those people that necessarily will shit all over an adaptation simply because it's different from
Here's the thing, though. You gotta get it right in essence. In essence of it, you gotta get it right. I mean, that sounds sort of pretentious. Like, you gotta get it right in essence, Don.
Yeah, I mean, there's a you've got to get sort of parts of it right.
You gotta get the spirit of it right.
Yeah.
Like recently, Daredevil, the DVC's got it right, got the whole hard crime thing down. Doing that kind of thing realistic kind of makes sense.
But that's the thing about Daredevil was that it was it did a really good job of adapting a comic and I've been reading some of the older Frank Miller stuff and there's because it's a comic, especially it's a comic from the early 80s. There's still a lot of ridiculous shit in it, and not that comics from nowadays don't, but that's part of the idea of a lot of these comics. You kind of look at them and they're just full of silly multicolored shit. But you can still. The thing is, you can do that in a comic.
Yeah.
On TV and in movies, it's a little different. Especially TV, it's a little bit different. You can do a lot of that ridiculous stuff, but the thing is, if the tone doesn't match, then you're fucked. Imagine if someone remade Peter Jackson's Brain Dead and tried to have it with all that ridiculous, hilarious fucking gore that tried to make it a serious horror film.
Yeah.
But
trying to be a horror film, but also trying to have the stupid gore as well.
Whereas Brain Dead really wasn't a scary film. It was just gross and it was stupid and it's a fantastic film.
It is.
It's because it knew what it was and it kept that tone.
Yeah.
So Daredevil, you kind of got, we'll use that word, the essence of the sort of Frank Miller. Baker sort of stuff, because it's got that kind of hard crime element.
Yeah, it's got hard crime. You also got the martial arts. More of a view of Daredevil, but there you go.
I know this is turning it over, but I think we've just got we're trying to sort of establish here that it's like just because we're not going to rag on it just because it's an adaptation and it's slightly different. If you look at Daredevil. Yeah, it's going to be slightly different from the comics. You look at Jessica Jones, it's going to be slightly different from the comics. You would know this more since you've read the comics for Alias Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones.
I haven't. I've only seen like half of Jessica Jones, but whatever. So just because it's different doesn't make it bad. What does make it bad is just about everything fucking else.
Just really derivative of a lot of stuff that is wrong with a lot of TV, really.
Yeah. It's see, once again, we're going back to fucking Jessica Jones and Daredevil. One of the things that was good about them was that it extended itself from 40 minutes to like 50 minutes to an hour or something like that, because it had a lot of stuff that it gave itself a lot of room to breathe, to create suspense and to build up characters and everything. Whereas the trouble with a lot of stuff on TV nowadays, it has to be about 40 minutes, and so everything goes by like the clappers. Gotham is a bit like that, but it will have its day. But
oh god, I'm less intrigued by Goblin. I'll admit that.
I watched like 3 episodes.
I've watched one, and I don't care. I've read like a million Batman comics, seen tons of. Well, I've seen all the movies. I've seen cartoons. I'm not starved of Batman. While Constantine is one that hasn't as much. It's.
It hasn't got as much, sort of continuity behind it as Batman does. But yeah, there's still a kind of, it's still got, it's just like 40 minutes. It's just, and it's kind of got this X-Files-esque sort of thing where like every episode is like, all right, John is off to investigate this thing happening.
Yeah, just.
And that's really not what Hellblazer was, really. I mean, yeah, okay, you had that paranormal investigator sort of, occult detective sort of.
He stumbled into them.
Yeah, a lot of the time, he stumbles into it because that's what that's the nature of his life.
Yeah.
These things just kind of appear around him. He senses them, and it's just, and he has this kind of, egotistical obligation to do something about it.
Yeah.
He may sort of initially think like, no, I'm not looking at it. I'm not doing this. He's just like, well, who else is going to do it? Whereas with this, it's just kind of like he gets in Chaz's cab and he's like, let's go. Yes, Chaz is
his man-servent.
Yeah, Chaz is.
He's like what's his face from Blade. The old Christopherson character. He's just like he's there, except that character's funnier. But I've got something to say about the fucking moment with him. What is he? What accent is that?
I think he's American in this.
Yeah, he probably is trying to affect that.
Yeah, he's American.
It's not horrible, but it's just it just doesn't work. It really doesn't.
No. It's like how you look at the old the Keanu Reeves Constantine movie, and of course they set the whole thing in America. They made Constantine American. You could almost understand that, but it's like they tried to do this, and they went, all right, we're going to make Constantine British here. We're going to make him English. We're going to make him So we hire a Welsh actor. That's fine. I don't care.
Whatever.
That's fine. Whatever. They called him a Londoner when he's actually from fucking Liverpool. But whatever. All right, that's fine.
Closer than before.
Because that's all Americans know is London. But they just couldn't help themselves. They couldn't set it in Britain.
No.
They had to drag it over to America. They made Astra American for some reason, even though the I guess it was the exorcism took place in Newcastle still, because they couldn't take that away,
Or as a character says, Newcastle, man!
It was Newcastle, man! They just couldn't. They couldn't help themselves.
I'm trying to remember a lot of those characters that were like the Newcastle incident. They were all British, weren't they?
You see, they were all.
Was the nerd guy? Was he British?
I think he was British. I can't remember.
If there's anyone who's American, it might be him, but
maybe.
I can't remember.
I can't really remember that much. It was more you see, the guy who ends up in this first episode, he's a hacker.
Yeah.
And
I have to wonder if
he's
that's
in. He was in Jamie Delano's run.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting trapped in the fucking internet. And it's way more awesome than the way I'm describing it.
Yeah. I can't remember that part. That's
when he's it's one of those things that you see a lot of in the likes of Hellblazer and whatever, where they sort of combine sort of technological stuff with magic stuff, and so he does his sort of I think he did his sort of astral projection thing and combined it with his technological expertise, and he ended up sort of projecting himself into the Matrix.
It's such a you know, like a pre-internet kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
once again, though,
right.
you know, it's something that you can look at in a comic, and if it's done well, you know, you can kind of, you know, when you see it on film, especially these days, you know, with all the fucking CGI and everything, it's ridiculous, and you can't comprehend it. It's just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, it's just trying to rush the sense. It feels like it's trying to rush the senses too. It's just like bang, you know, just everything has to be ground shaking and
everything has to be, you know, the music, everything, you know, the special effects. What they do in this, right? Basically, they had a lassie in it who was meant to be. Her character was meant to be like John's sidekick for the rest of this season, so when you're watching it, you can tell that that's what they're trying to build her up as if there was much building up, but you know, you can tell that's what they're trying to do with her, especially considering she's this guy's daughter.
I'm sure it's like Baron Winters, who's a character who had like his own adventures. I think I've never read them, but I know he was in Swamp Thing as one of the magicians. They got
it was one of the where they were kind of doing that circle thing, you know. Basically read Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, all right?
Just if anything, just read it.
Just read Alan Moore's Swamp Thing and then read Hellblazer. But
but yeah, it just just like he was talking about like how he was a good man. Just like, really? This is how we could talk about another magician.
Yeah, he doesn't like other magicians. He thinks they're bankers.
Barely. Just like he'll respect them, sure, but you know, he's not gonna hang out with them.
Yeah. And what was that other thing that you saw where they were down in that fucking magical bomb shelter where she picks up that helmet?
Yeah, Dr. Fate's helmet.
Dr. Fate's helmet.
He's a slightly more mainstream hero. He wears his ridiculous bell helmet. And he's like an Egyptian kind of styled hero. He's got something else.
Well, apparently that guy's helmet was in this.
Yeah.
Area. So they're trying to build this lassie up as that, as being his sidekick, because she was the daughter of this cool wizard and everything. And she's being chased by an electricity-eating demon. Who can possess power cables and the fucking thing. and Constantine's just like trying to get it to stop.
What you don't know is that the voice of the power cable was Stephen King.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
It fucking wasn't, but
it wasn't. But
you just want to intro like a
it just kind of looks like it looks like you know, it just reminds you of like any time someone tries to adapt Stephen King's work straight, you know.
Series.
You know, when you read it in a book, it's not that, you know, it kind of works, but when you see it on a TV, you know, usually directed by Mick Garris, it's just like, what? But yeah, they're just like, you know, fucking possesses power cables and then impales Chaz, and then Chaz is still alive.
This is the fucking bit. Yeah, did he even explain that?
No.
Did you?
Yeah, I don't. Well, they didn't explain it in that episode, other than Constantine saying, "There's a reason why Chaz is one of my oldest mates." Okay.
Let's fucking say it then. Just like just the way he said. There's more to this world than you know. Hack writing.
Hack writing.
Fucking hack.
You know, so things. What is it? Things don't look as they seem, or something like that. Things aren't as they seem. Something like that, and it's like, what? Okay.
Wishy-washy.
Wishy-washy crap. Yeah. So yeah. But what they ended up doing, there are actually two different versions of the pilot. When you saw that bit towards the end, you know, where she sees the you know, the crime scene, which has something to do with something, but I can't remember. You know, basically, I think that was like where they made the sort of where that was kind of the point where like she would have changed, if she would have had she would have made her decision, and stayed with John, or fucked off and I don't know, got protected by a cloaking spell, and so basically in what we saw, she buggers off, and in the next episode, in fact at the end of this one, you see what is meant to be Zed drawing shitloads of pictures, one of which was an obvious Hellblazer cover, but I have actually seen the second episode. It was a while ago, but when Zed shows up, you wouldn't think it was Zed.
No, not like the weird punk kind of.
No, she doesn't have the kind of punk hair, the white sort of,
the shock white and black.
Yeah, she doesn't have that sort of shit going on. She basically looks like, she looks like the sort of person that would show up in one of those CSI sort of shows, just kind of, just kind of airbrushed fucking model looking sort of woman, it's not like, there's just not anything that's recognisably Hellblazer. I mean, you look at, Constantine, I guess,
he has the look, but
he has the look, but he looks like a cosplayer.
It feels like a caricature kind of thing.
Yeah.
Semi-caricature thing.
Like, his coat is way too clean.
You sometimes says stuff that Constantine would say, but you just they're always kind of thrown out there. Then he kind of talks in ways that he wouldn't,
Yeah, for the most part, he's just kind of a frowning bulldog.
Yeah.
He's kind of like, I'll kick the demons in the bollocks.
Yeah.
Whereas in Hellblazer, especially when you look at the flashbacks of him in Ravenscar, the Asylum, which he actually starts off in this episode. He starts off in Ravenscar, and he's about to get fucking electroshock therapy. And he's just like, nice and tight, love. In the flashbacks in the comic, he's actually like, he's actually genuinely fucked up and mentally imbalanced, and he's scared, and he doesn't know what's going on. And there's a bit where some of the guards in this place take him out of his cell and hang him up in the basement and beat him because they think he's a child killer.
Oh yes.
Whereas in this they don't think he's a child killer. They just think you saw the killer and you think he was a demon. And he's just Constantine's just so her name was Astra.
God.
It's just like the most melodramatic version of Constantine you could possibly have, and.
Oh man! At least the movie had was it Lucifer?
Yeah, the movie had Peter Stormare.
Yeah.
As the devil. That was cool enough.
Yeah.
Fucking. At least that film had Gabriel played by Tilda Swinton, which was actually a pretty fucking. That was some pretty inspired casting.
She's actually done that quite a few times though. She's played like a man.
Sort of an androgynous male character.
She's going to be playing the Ancient One in Doctor Strange.
Right. Okay.
There's nothing. You look at nothing like about it. Cool,
whatever. That was still
an
interesting bit of casting, and it was also a very nice looking movie.
Yeah.
Overall, it wasn't very good.
No.
Especially not as an adaptation of Hellblazer, but I could see things about it that I liked.
The thing with that movie though is, they fucked up. They fucked up in early 2000s. Everyone fucked up in early 2000s. We're supposed to have learned from that.
Yeah.
Look, what's this thing's excuse? Just
you have volumes worth of story and atmosphere and tone. And you're looking. If you read through it, you can.
I get the feeling that I didn't read any. Barely. I think they just kind of looked at.
He said, "Oh look, I saw him do an exorcism." All right.
So have you actually read it? No, read that. That'd be difficult. Granted, that's what I said ages ago, but still. I don't have a lot of money and I'm filming a adaptation or something.
Yeah, alright.
So I have the high ground. I go, ha ha.
I mean, God, I remember Warren Ellis talking about how he, when he started working for Marvel sent him like all this fucking,
and he writes mostly for like X-Men and stuff. So I kind of like pitied him for that because there's so much shit, so much stuff to do.
But God, God, fucking do Haunted, you know. Actually, no, don't
get this series.
Don't do Haunted. Actually, you know what? Apparently, one of the later episodes in the season, I think it's called Quid Pro Quo, is actually an adaptation of Mike Carey's All His Engines, which is one that I've got here. It's got a very nice cover, you know. It's like the artwork is really nice as well. Was it Leonardo Manco?
Oh yes.
You know, very nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I know.
Who is that?
That's basically a demon who basically he acts like a Hollywood executive.
Oh, nice.
And he's wearing a bathrobe and he's about to get into a fucking pool like filled with corpses.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. You know, All His Engines is awesome, and they apparently have done you'll love the fucking God of Death here.
Oh yeah, show me that.
Yeah, just I don't know if you'd be able to see probably, but yeah.
Wonderful.
I don't know. Yeah, basically, yeah, that's the God of Death in there. I wonder what they're gonna do. Yeah. So I'm kind of looking forward and not looking forward to that.
Oh God! So I'm just thinking about it now. Just looking.
Yeah. I mean, look, I don't necessarily have that big of a problem with Constantine doing this kind of doing the sort of Latin spell chanting sort of thing, because he has done that in the comics.
Yeah.
He has done that. He was maybe less inclined towards that sort of shit, like in the earlier comics, like with Jamie Delano and Garth Ennis.
Yeah. And
everything. In fact, there's this whole joke in one of the Garth Ennis ones where he, this one guy talks about how there was a ghost of a student in this dormitory, and John shows up and he said it was the crappiest ghost he ever seen. He basically told it to piss off, and it did.
Yeah, I remember one where he like makes a bunch of like Latin intonations towards like a kid or something.
Yeah.
And they said, what did you do? I just
thrice damned.
I just spoke a little bollocks and just laughed.
Yeah, he spoke a little bollocks. But yeah, he has done a sort of a similar thing in later sort of Hellblazer comics. In fact, he does it in all his engines, but it's never like, it's just basically like he does his thing and he chants a few lines and everything. Whereas in these sorts of shows, it's always got to be like, it
just adds to the overall melodrama that's going on.
It's and of course, you've basically got all this, like there's that bit where the demon thing turns into Constantine and he starts shooting electricity at it.
God, that just electricity, Constantine, Christ.
Oh no.
I am lightning.
It's just fucking ridiculous, and I mean, I get that. Okay, look, part of the idea of comics is that they are ridiculous. They're far-fetched. They're, it's escapism, but once again, you've got to, different mediums have different sort of executions, and and this just wasn't executed well.
Yeah.
And once again, if you're gonna make a comic series, like a comic book adaptation of a comic that's mostly set in Britain.
Yeah, usually it's set in Britain. I mean, yeah, we do have like parts where he goes to other parts of the world.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
He has been to America. He has been to.
I think Papa Midnight is going to show up.
I know he's in the series. I've seen what he looks like. Yeah.
Oh well, maybe I don't know. Maybe that will be.
Maybe he'll be cool.
Maybe he'll have his sister's skull, and he'll be talking to it and everything.
We'll see. Yeah.
Hopefully they don't get him to jump off a skyscraper and die, Garth. You know what? I'd still like that better.
Yeah, it's still more interesting,
Yeah. It's just because I wanted to see more of him. That's but yeah, this. I don't know why people seem to like it. I mean, if
people like Gotham.
Yeah, people like Gotham as well, but look, you know, if you like something, then fine. Like it, you know, if you like it, fine. But you know, realize that you're wrong.
Realize that it's absolute dreck. You know,
just realize that you're wrong. that you have terrible taste. And
using the word "wrong" is a bit of a harsh one.
And
say that
your parents did a horrible job raising you.
No, just realise that it is drag and it is. I like drag sometimes. I had fun watching Robo Vampire, which is utter crap. But granted, Gotham's probably better than that, but I'd still watch Robo Vampire.
Yeah,
because it does have the worst RoboCop clone marching into frame, just wearing plastic. Oh, Robo Vampire, but you have no place in this review, but I'm going to mention you anyway. Yeah, but you're putting back a potentially good adaptation of like one of the great occult comic books.
Yeah, like he's basically John Constantine is like, I mean, look, there's probably been like numerous sort of occult detective style sort of characters before John Constantine, but realistically, he was the guy, like he was the character that kind of that essentially influenced a lot of later sort of occult detective.
Yeah.
So like the guy that wrote like Dresden Files, it was like that was basically the occult detective sort of novel series. I guarantee you he must have read some Hellblazer.
Yeah, there's one by Dark Horse called Criminal Macabre, and I know that must be.
I'll have to read that.
I'll have to do it as
well. There's all sorts of stuff, and the thing is, I wasn't when I first saw it. I wasn't disappointed because I remember seeing the trailer and thinking this is gonna suck. I would have. You know what? I would have put my hand up and said I was wrong if I watched it and went, all right, but it was just a crap trailer.
Yeah.
Or, I would have put my hand up and said that this is actually really good.
Yeah. I can always. Yeah.
But no.
Yeah.
No, this just isn't it. And I'm kind of glad they cancelled it because I don't think I could stand more than one season of this.
Is it just one? Yeah.
It's just one.
Oh.
They cancelled it.
I thought it was two.
I think they can. I'm pretty sure they cancelled it after one season.
One season,
yeah. So.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Right. So basically, that was our first Constantine thing. Read Hellblazer.
Read all the Hellblazers.
Read all the Hellblazer.
And then you won't want to watch this.
Yeah. Well. Okay. I would honestly recommend reading Alan Moore's Swamp Thing before.
Oh yeah.
Because I read Hellblazer before ever reading Swamp Thing, and there were parts of it that I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Mainly just those ghouls.
Like those characters showing up and everything. I'm like, what the hell is this? What are they talking about?
The part with Jamie, like the part with like the dragon. Like the birth scene with the dragon. You're on your own.
Yeah, you're on your own there. I must admit. I mean, I like Jamie Delano a lot. Don't get me wrong. I love his work and everything. But he got his sometimes he would just go all out with the poetic sort of imagery and poetic language and everything. A lot of his stuff is essentially poetry with pictures.
Yeah.
So that's my recommendation. Stay tuned for more Constantine. That was the first episode, basically.